welcome to ABC Interactive English. I am still Mike.
I'm still Kim.
You are still Kim, and we are still talking about the many good things that happened in 2020. Stop laughing. It's not funny. Many good things did happen in 2020.
Okay.
Like,
I found matching shoelaces.
Great! That's really great news!
Yeah.
Was it hard to find matching shoelaces?
Not really.
No, okay, let's see.
I had a really good chocolate pudding.
Oh, really?
It was really good.
That is? I didn't see that on the news.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I didn't watch CNN the day
you just weren't paying attention.
Really good chocolate pudding. We all had to stay home, but I know a lot of people kind of thought it was didn't think it was good, but it kind of was good. A lot of people spent more time with their families, right? They spent more time reading and doing things they like at home because they couldn't go places. Oh, I know a lot of people learned how to cook and make bread.
Okay.
Wasn't that kind of a popular thing to do?
Oh, yeah, everybody was making bread for some reason.
I guess you could say that that's a good thing. And I think this is actually a good thing that we might see continue into the future. A lot of people found that they can do their jobs at home and be happier that way.
Yeah, that's good.
So that is kind of a good thing.
Yes.
We'll see if it, lasts after COVID-19. But because of COVID-19, of course, many bad things happened. But if you look, a few good things happened, and maybe you noticed some of those good things happening for you. Actually, for us in Taiwan, it might have been more 2021.
I think so.
Because we had to stay home more last year than in 2020, but I guess you can kind of look for the good news in all the bad news.
You can always try, yes.
We did hear about some good things in yesterday's article, right? Polio, the crayons, Finnish fathers can have paid time off work, so those are good things. We'll find out more in today's article.
Because of COVID-19, governments made people stay at home. That really affected people. They felt lonely because they could no longer be social. To fix that, people in the US went to animal shelters.
All right, so our article kind of picks up right where we were talking there. It says, because of COVID-19, governments made people stay at home. Yes, this is especially true in Europe, of course, in China, where it all started, Europe, North America, as I said. For us here in Taiwan, that was true, but more for 2021. But yeah, a lot of us spent a lot of time at home because government rules were telling us to stay there so that COVID-19 didn't spread more and more.
That's right, and it continues. That really affected people.
It did.
It did. They felt lonely because they could no longer be social.
True. All those parties, meetings, dinners, birthdays, those were all sort of online or got canceled because everyone was at home. It really affected people in lots of different ways. This verb to affect is to cause a change in something, all right? Your feelings will affect how happy you are, and things that happen in your day will affect your feelings. If you eat healthy food, that will affect your health. If you eat junk food, that will affect your body in a bad kind of way. Vegetables and fruits will affect your body in a more healthy, positive kind of way. Now, you might also know this noun, effect, E-F-F-E-C-T. The noun form of this word, it has an E at the beginning, of course, and that is the change. The change that happens is the effect, and making that change is affecting something. And yeah, a lot of people were affected by COVID, by having to stay home. And one of the effects, right, using it as a noun, is that people did feel lonely.
Yes, people got very lonely. If you feel lonely, you're sad because there's nobody around you.
So alone.
Okay. So if you're in your house by yourself all the time, you don't have too much contact with your friends and family, you will feel really lonely.
So lonely. It's just me and me and me.
And more me.
And
you don't want to be lonely. It's a bad feeling.
I'm never lonely with you around.
That's nice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you're lonely, you can call your friend. A lot of people might have pets, right? Pets can stop you from feeling lonely. If you got a family and all that kind of thing, it's easier to not feel lonely. But everyone can feel lonely at different
some
times,
time in your
even
life,
when you're with your friends and stuff like that. Because it's nice to be social. Being social is a good way to not feel lonely. And when we talk about social, basically we talk about having relationships with people, friendships, a family, that kind of thing. When you talk to people, when you go to parties, when you chat online, when you're engaging with other people in some kind of way, you're being social in some kind of way too. All right, so what did people do? Well, they're spending time at home. We're afraid of COVID. That's all very normal. It says to fix that, people in the US went to animal shelters, right? Yeah, pets can stop you from feeling lonely, and if you want to get a pet, I would urge you to go to an animal shelter and get your pet there. Don't go to a pet store, go to an animal shelter. This is sort of an organization, probably a charity or something like that, and they protect animals who live on the streets. They take care of animals that get sent away or given away by their owners. Maybe a dog has too many babies and they can't find homes for the puppies, so some of them will be at the animal shelter. It's like a protective, safe place for animals. And also, if you go there, you might be able to find a new animal friend, and it probably won't cost you a lot of money or even any money.
Yes.
And I would say the animals are often healthier there because they take really good care of them.
Now, there's a phrase that we like to use in the States that says, adopt, don't shop.
Adopt,
so
don't shop.
Try to get an animal from the animal shelter. They're animals that are in need versus animals that are kind of sold in pet stores that you not really sure where they came from. So you need to be careful about that. So try to adopt, don't shop, and buy a new animal.
That's a very good tip. There you go. So let's take a break and then we'll be back with more good news from 2020, especially good news for lonely people and lonely animals.
They brought cats and dogs home. Soon, many animal shelters across the country were empty. That wasn't the only good thing, though. Staying at home helped the environment. In 2020, the world experienced a 7% drop in CO2 levels. That, and all the other good things, really gave people hope during COVID-19.
Okay, so 2020 might not have been the best year for you guys, but if you were a lonely animal in an animal shelter, it might actually have been a good year. People stayed home and they might have felt lonely, so they got more pets.
That's right. It says they brought cats and dogs home. Soon, many animal shelters across the country were empty.
Really?
That's good news for the animals,
That
for
is
sure.
great news. I guess this is a story from America, but often those animal shelters, they have more pets, more animals than they can take care of. So finding out that they're basically sold out, that all of those lonely animals have found happy homes to go to, that is great news. And I've never heard of an animal shelter actually being empty.
It might be the first time, yeah.
Usually they have way too many animals, way too many pets that they can really find homes for. If something is empty, this adjective basically means there's nothing inside it. It's something that you can fill with something. Maybe it's a glass. You could fill it with water. Maybe it's a box. You could put things inside. Maybe it's your school bag. There's lots of room for your books, but there are no books in there. There's nothing in that box. There's nothing to drink in that glass. It's completely dry. It is empty. The opposite would be full. If there's no more space, if everything that could go in there is already in there, it's full, but once you take all of those things out, take everything out, it's now empty. If a hotel is empty, there are no people in there. If the airplane is empty, you're the only person on the airplane.
That's
that
kind of
would be
scary.
Very strange.
Yes.
All right, so that wasn't the only good thing, though, as the article says. Staying at home helped the environment. I remember these stories, right? Everyone was working from home, so they weren't driving their cars and buses around the city, so the air got a lot cleaner.
Yes, and things like the canals in Venice. The water got clearer, and actually dolphins ended up returning.
That's right.
Because people weren't going anywhere, doing anything, so there's no gas in the air, there's no pollution, there's none of that.
Right, so it was good news for the environment.
So the environment, especially when you say the environment, would refer to Earth, the planet we live on, the place we live. If you want to talk about environment in a different way, you could say school is your learning environment, or where you work is your working environment. It's the place that you are right now and the area you're surrounded by at the moment.
All right, so let's look at some actual numbers that prove how much happier the environment was with everyone staying home. It says in 2020, the world experienced a 7% drop in CO2 levels. CO2, or carbon dioxide, of course, is something that is produced by engines burning oil and gas and factories and all that kind of stuff. It's very bad for the environment, CO2. It's not something that we can live on or breathe too much of. And if 7% of that goes, if there's a 7% drop all around the world, that means that the air is quite a bit cleaner. I remember pictures from, I think it was New Delhi, the big
India.
city in India, and often you can't even see very far down some of the big streets. And they showed pictures before, and there was kind of this orange-brown cloud everywhere. And then they showed during COVID-19, with everyone staying home, blue sky. You could see the green trees really, really far away. So you could actually see the difference in how healthy the environment was.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it continues. That and all the other good things really gave people hope during COVID-19.
I guess some of those good things are things we actually want to continue through 2020, 2021, 2022 as well, especially keeping the environment clean, keeping the animal shelters empty. We'll see as we get back to more of a sort of normal world like it was before. We'll see how many of these good things we can keep going. We hope lots of them will continue on and even get more and more common. So they're not news anymore. They're just normal. That would be great. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We hope you guys have a wonderful, healthy, and very happy 2022, and only good things happen to you. And we hope to see you back here very soon. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Adopt, don't shop.
Yes.
I like that.
Because of COVID-19, governments made people stay at home. That really affected people. They felt lonely because they could no longer be social. To fix that, people in the US went to animal shelters. They brought cats and dogs home. Soon, many animal shelters across the country were empty. That wasn't the only good thing, though. Staying at home helped the environment. In 2020, the world experienced a 7% drop in CO2 levels. That, and all the other good things, really gave people hope during COVID-19.
Hi， 大家好，我是 Stephanie。那我们今天一样一起看单字。第一个呢是 affect 动词影响。Not eating well and not exercising affected my health. 饮食不均衡还有不运动影响了我的健康。另外想补充的是，动词 affect A 开头，可是如果今天是 E 开头的 effect， 同样也是影响的意思，可是它的词性就变成名词。希望大家注意到这个小细节。那第二个单字呢，就是 lonely， 形容词孤单的。The world can feel like a lonely place if you're far away from your family. 如果你和家人的距离很远的话，你会觉得你身处一个孤单的世界。第三个单字呢，就是形容词 social， 社交的，善于交际的。Are you a very social person? 你是个善于交际的人吗？那讲到 social 呢，中文有时候也会形容一个很活泼外向、很会拉勒的人是交际花。那英文里面也有哦，可是英文里不是用花来形容，而是用蝴蝶，也就是 social butterfly。Jenny is a social butterfly. She has friends everywhere. Jenny 很会社交，她到处都有朋友。最后一个单字呢，就是形容词 empty， 空的。The bus was empty by the time it reached the last stop. 当公车到达最后一站的时候呢，已经空荡荡了。那今天的第一个文法重点呢是 no longer， 不再，再也不。We no longer need to use DVD players to watch movies。我们现在看电影再也不需要使用 DVD 播放器了。好，那我们接着看动名词当做主词的用法。动名词当主词的时候呢，它后面的动词会是用单数动词，比如说 Eating fried foods is bad for your health。吃油炸的食物对你的健康有害。foods 不是复数吗？为什么后面接的是 is 呢？那也就是我们刚刚说到的重点。动名词当主词的时候呢，会用单数动词，就像例句里面的 eating fried foods， 你要把它看成是一组，我们指的是吃炸物这一件事情，所以当然是用单数动词咯。那我们再看一个架构更简单的例子 ，Painting is fun， 画画很有趣。Painting 呢就是动名词，指的是画画这一件事情，所以动词当然也是 is。最后一个呢，我们要看一小段文字。The world experienced a 7% drop in CO2 levels。全世界的二氧化碳量减少了7%。这一小段文字里面主要的重点呢，就是 experience 作为动词的时候有历经的意思。比如说 ，You might experience a fever after getting the vaccine。接种疫苗后，你可能会经历发烧。那第二个小重点呢，就是名词 drop 表示减少的数量。刚刚的 a drop in CO2 levels 二氧化碳总量减低 ，drop 后面习惯接上的介系词呢就是 in， 而 level 呢就是名词总量的意思哦。最后我们看一个有关 drop 的句子 ：Seeing the recent drop in viewer subscriptions makes the YouTuber nervous。观察到最近观众订阅量的下降，让这名 YouTuber 感到紧张。好，那我们今天的讲解就到这里 ，See you。
On the Zhongxing Road in Chi-An, Hualien, there's a special Japanese-style building. Chi-An Chinghsiu Temple is classified as a county monument. It's a historic place and a popular tourist attraction. Chi-An Chinghsiu Temple was built in 1917 by the Japanese colonial government, previously known as Shingon Yoshino Dojo. Right through the gate, you'll see the Temizuya for cleansing on your left. In the garden, you'll see the stone tablet of the Vairakana mantra of light, as well as the statues of Fudo Myo-o and Shingon Buddhism founder Kobodaishi. The 88 Buddhist statues along the wall are originally from 88 Kyushu shrines. They represent 88 problems, and hence 88 wishes for human beings. You can buy a small wooden plaque, also known as ema in Japanese, in the souvenir shop. Write down your prayers and put it under one of the Buddha to make a wish. At Chi-An Chinghsiu Temple, you can get a feel of Japan and learn more about the history of Hualien.
See you next time!